Hey guys, Evander here back with another video, and today I'm excited to tell you all about the CyberBeam. This is an RGBW modification to the existing Cybertruck Lightbar, and it is super easy to install. It takes less than 15 minutes. And this one is from CyberGlow. If you're interested in this one, link in the description below. Be sure to use my code REDNAVE. It's going to save you $200 to $300 depending on your choice, but this is definitely one to check out. So I'm going to be talking about it all up front. And if you want to, you can stay and watch the rest of the install, which again doesn't take too much time. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is from CyberGlow. It is using an original Tesla light bar that they have modified. So they've opened it up, added in some LED strips and a controller. That way you can turn it on and off with Bluetooth app on your phone. There are all sorts of different animations on this thing. As I talk about it, I'll just go through a bunch of the animations. But yeah, this was essentially someone else's light bar, potentially. They've opened it up, modified it, and sent it to me. Then I sent them mine and got an $800 refund so that they can modify that and use that on another customer. So I've never seen anybody kind of use original Tesla parts and modify them. So it's plug and play. You just unscrew some bolts, unplug the existing light bar, and then plug in the new one that they give you. There's no weird wiring you need to do in the frunk. There's no weird battery you need to have in there. It's literally pop out the old, pop in the new. You can't even tell once it's fully installed, obviously, that it was even modified in the first place. Um, some debate on if you should be driving around like this. I personally have not had any issues with the Rainbow Road kind of version, but obviously you want to be very careful. If you're going on the road, you don't want that. You're going to get pulled over really quick. So I've been doing, they call it kaleidoscope. So far I've had 3 or 4 cops. I drove right past them and they just don't care. Here in California ways. So I'm not a lawyer, but it's been fine so far. I haven't been pulled over or scolded by any policeman yet. Um, but absolutely super easy app to use. You can modify what happens while it's parked, what happens while you're driving. There's show modes, which again, I'm going through slowly but surely. Strobe is a bit too much. Sparkle. So price. This is where some of you are probably going to stop watching right now, and that's okay. It starts at about $2,000 before you use my discount code. So be sure to leverage RedNave, save that money. I got half off for doing this promotion video, so full disclaimer, that's why I'm doing this. And I was very interested in this light. I've been following it for quite a while. I think under a different name. I thought this used to be called the Boring Light. They may have rebranded and now call it the CyberBeam. But as you can see, I'm going through a ton of different animations. This is fantastic if you do any sort of car shows. You know, its intention is to be stationary when you're going through all these animations. What's really nice is while you're charging, the truck is still awake. So you can leave an animation on, which is what I usually do before I walk away from a supercharger, and kind of just let it do its thing and be a spectacle for people to watch. But you can customize the colors, you can customize the speed, you can customize how big some of the shapes are. It's very customizable. And again, installation, super easy as long as you have a drill, I think an 8 and a 10 millimeter, and maybe some prying tools. You can get this done easily. Oh, that one's pretty cool. What's hyperspectral? I might need to use that one more often. So they do have different options. You can simply have them send you a light bar. That's going to cost you the most, $28.50 before my discount. What I suggest you do is you get they send you the light, and then you mail them your light bar, and they give you $800 credit back to your card. They also have the option of pre-installing PPF for you. I got the clear PPF, but they also have a kind of gray PPF if you're into a little more subtle, hazy color. I like that one too. Honestly, there are so many different animations. I'm not sure I've even seen them all at this point. What's really great is this doesn't like consume much battery, if at all. I haven't noticed any degradation to my battery. But again, I don't have this on all the time. It does still have the ability to have animations when you lock and unlock the truck. Um, the only downside I've seen with mine is if the truck is awake, like in Sentry mode, the light bar might be on. So I have to remember to turn it off, or it might be potentially wasting a little bit of energy. What I think this would be really cool for is I've noticed some people, especially in the snowy regions of the country, when you are flying down the freeway and you've got a blizzard, I've seen a lot of people like taping their light bar because there's no way that Tesla allows us to, as of today, to turn off your light bar so it's not making the blizzard like blindingly in your face. So what you could potentially do with this is go into the settings and just turn the brightness all the way down to 0, and it overrides the Tesla, and it would essentially disable your light bar. So if you're driving in a blizzard, it's not going to make the snowflakes seem so much worse. This could be a solution for anybody who A, wants to have some really cool colors, and B, the ability to turn off your light bar whenever you want, even while driving. So who is this for, is my question I assume some of you are asking. A, someone who's got a little almost $2,000 burning a hole in your pocket, and B, someone who goes to car shows, you like to show off for the kids maybe around the neighborhood. Um, Honestly, it's just really fun to drive around with. I get a lot of head turns of like, oh, that's really cool, that's different. But again, I'm kind of playing with fire here. With the Rainbow Road, I feel like it's a more safer option than, again, some of these animations. You want to avoid emergency and police vehicle kind of mimicking those. That's kind of cool. Mimicking those animations and flickering. So I feel like the Rainbow Road in slow motion was the way to go. Because yeah, some of these that almost look like a cop. Yeah, I wouldn't use that one on the road. That one would be pretty bad. Um, I've just got a few more animations we'll go through, and then I'll just, if you want to watch the rest of the installation, stick around and I go through the full installation. This one's called Dream Maker. That one's pretty cool. Again, a little too flashy perhaps to rock. And this one is called Star Power. It looks like it has a little more flickering than the normal just Rainbow Road, called Kaleidoscope. Interstellar, again, yeah, a little bit too flashy, but again, they do have some little more chill. I'm gonna stick with Kaleidoscope. I can change the scale, so if I want smaller intervals of color, I can do that. Or if I scale it all the way up, the entire light bar is now treated as one of the colors, so it will pulse through the entire light bar instead of just small sections. Actually, now that I do that, that is kind of cool too. Maybe I'll kind of go somewhere in between. This is about halfway. But again, you can speed up the speed of the animation, or you can slow it all the way down. So it's very adjustable in your settings of how you want to control your light bar. And again, I can control the brightness. This is 2%. This is very visible. I'm waiting till dusk to record this part just so it's um, not too bright, not too dark, but it does get very bright. Even in the daytime, you can see this glowing very brightly. Alrighty, that just about does it for what I gotta say. Again, if you're interested, stick around, watch the full installation, see if it's something you'd like. And if you do, please use RedKnave and my link below. It's gonna save you guys some money and it helps support my channel. So thanks for stopping by. I hope this is something you're interested in. I will see you very soon in the next video. Take care. All right, step one, we've got to remove these little black rubbery bits from the sides. To do that, first thing I'm going to do is get this cabling off of these hooks out of the way. Pull those apart like that. And then underneath this, right here, there's a little pin. We have to remove this pin. All right, I'm going to try this tool instead. This one's a bit tight. If I can get underneath it. Here it comes. There we go. You can see this pin starting to come out. There we go. So keep this handy. We'll have to put this back in at the end. Now we're going to just pull this straight out and keep an ear and an eye out for some white pins. Here's one. As I'm taking off the other side, this is what you should see is two of these bigger white clips. So I think what happened is these are supposed to go on like that. That would make more sense. So either my PPF installer or my service center did not install these correctly back on. That makes way more sense. So when I put this back in, it'll pop in place. All right, now we've got about a dozen 10mm bolts. That was all 12. Now I can switch to my 8mm. Got these teeny little, got blue, but that's 8mm. On each side, there is one of them. All right, now that all these screws have been loosened, I'm going to lower this down carefully. This panel is no longer bolted into place. So I'm going to lower it about there. And this panel has, I believe, 3 connections. And we're going to lift it up and off, and I'll have to just put it on the ground somewhere. See if I can do this. Yeah. There we go. Carefully put this over here. I should probably give you the full tour before I take this thing off. So there's the connector right here. So here is the connector. This is the plug and play. So we'll just unplug this and then plug in our replacement light bar, and it's that simple. Let's see how this comes out. I think I pull this little T-shaped bit. It's all wet in here. It's been raining a bit, so it's all wet in here. I'm gonna just give this a quick drying off where this connection happens. And then we will see, does this just keep pulling till this disengages fully. There we go. So just keep pulling this little gray T-shaped looking thing. Keep pulling that to the left, and this will come apart right there in the middle. Take this out of there. I should have been wearing gloves the whole time. I'll have to grab some. All right, we're gonna hop back over to our 10mm. Looks like we got 2 of these. And now we can remove the light bar. Pull. Holding in the middle. Pull other side as well. Disengaging those clips. And then be mindful of any wiring. There we go. This is our Tesla OEM light bar. Set that aside. I gotta take real good care of the old one because that baby's worth $800 in my refund. Since if you return your light bar, you get $800 back. So I'm gonna send mine back shortly, making sure, of course, that their light bar works first. All right, now we're going to put in the CyberBeam. Full disclosure, it's ugly as hell on these inside bits that are not visible to outsiders. So once this is installed, this sealant is not going to be visible. So in fact, CyberBeam warned me and said, hey, we are reevaluating how we do our sealing, and we have a better technique, but do you still want to have the old technique and get it sooner? And I said, sure. So I would expect future iterations to not be as messy as this. But if I can't see this, I don't really care. Once it's installed, how it looks behind the curtain. So I need to align the pin here in the middle. There's a couple pins. And almost there. Pop those pins in place, make sure everything's aligned. Yeah, it looks great. Can't see any of the sealant like they promised. Whoops, I've got this cable that I had in the way here. Try that again. Now I've lost my alignment. There we go. So don't forget about the existing cables. Make sure everybody is out of the way. Then pop those pins back in place. Perfect. Before I plug it in, I'm gonna put these 10 mils back on. All right, let's plug it in. Engage that little gray T. It looks like the sealant is in the way of sliding this thing back on. So I'll try my best. All right, well, this isn't seating like I would prefer. But once that panel's back on, it ain't going nowhere. I think I'm gonna slap a little bit of electrical tape on this just to keep it from rattling. All right, want to lower this just a little bit. I don't want it perfectly flat or it could fall off. So there is this big dowel in the middle. I'm gonna use that first. This thing is reasonably heavy. Kind of feels like 15 pounds or so. So try and angle that. There we go. Slip it into place. Raise it up to have gravity help out. Make sure these other dowels have landed. I assume when I bolt it back together, that will help get things seated and situated perfectly. So yeah, it's nice. I can see these holes where they align. I'm just gonna start bolting in. All right, we're hopping back over to the 8mm for the blue ones. Those go under here. This is pretty easy. All right, pop this black pieces back on. All right, just wanted to show you all this ugly shit here. Sealant totally gone once we pop this back in. Then we're gonna get that little black pin. Give him a push. Reroute these cables. And back to normal. Can't even see that. And the final piece, this one has a little bit different look. Pops right on. Get our pin. Bam. Installation complete. That was easy. Alrighty, all cleaned up. Let's shut this, take a look. I would not have been able to tell if somebody just swapped this out. I cannot see any of the sealant. That looks great, and can't even see the PPF that they've applied for me. I've got the clear PPF on mine. Fantastic. So now that the install is complete, we've got some software stuff to take care of.